AO log 6.0 is currently 2:39 a.m. GMT on Saturday, November 14th. Just coming out of Friday the 13th. Oh, I literally just got done working. Like, well, I did take a smoke break, take a piss, and then just started this. But literally, like, what, 2:39 and just got done. I thought about what I was saying the other week about how how much I work and whatever. I say this every time I have one of these, but it's true and it's there's always front of mind, of course, right? How can it not be? How can work not be for anyone most of the time, right? Or most people most of the time. When you work a lot, I mean, of course, in quarantine, in lockdown, we're officially back in lockdown, 4 week lockdown, like proper lockdown again. Only difference I think this time versus last time is that the kids are still going to school. Um, in quarantine, but what I was thinking anyways was how much am I really working, right? Because I said, oh, I think I work like an average like of an 11 hours or so, like a day, each day, Monday through Friday, right? But I took it seriously this time and really started toggling my time like diligently to see like what is it actually, right? Because this is all about being honest. And if I say, oh, I think I work like 11 hours a day, is that really the case or not? Do I just think that is? And yeah, I was timing myself, the last couple of weeks as it is with this week, like every individual little task that maybe I wasn't before, I was now. And this was also a little bit busier of a week, maybe, or it felt that way. Um, but what was it ultimately, right? So check this. This is why I use them so I can actually screen share. So this is of today, right? We're already into Saturday. You can see what am I actually sharing? I'm sharing the right screen. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So already today and a Saturday, work 2 hours, you know, 13:44 yesterday. And like it's not just like the pure number of hours I work, it's all the context switching that's happening as well. Like all the different tasks I'm doing. Like some are very like small tasks. You can see like a 4 minute whatever, but that's what I was trying to be diligent about, even tracking those little things also. But I think the big takeaway here is how much is spent like the context switching. There's so much different little, not even necessarily little, just so much to do. It'd be one thing if I was like 13 hours on a single task and just like head down on it, but this is like across hella tasks each and every day. Here with the 10 hours on Wednesday, what was that for yesterday, Thursday? 12 hours Thursday, 13 hours, was it Friday? And honestly, this was 15 hours because these 2 hours on Saturday to me count as Friday, right? But at the same time, if you look at how much I worked on Monday, dude, I said how much I hate Mondays. I always have, and like how hard it is for me to get started each and every Monday. Check this: 11 hours on Tuesday. Okay, that's the what I thought was my average. Look how little I work on fucking Mondays, and it's not even like I was doing anything else. It's not like I had a doctor's appointment or had a train ride or something. It's just, did I take a train ride that day? I did take the train back that night, right? That's right. I did that night back from Huddersfield, back from my grandparents here. But even if I didn't, I still want to work much more. I think of the other previous Monday, let's look at that. I think I worked another 4 hours, right? Let me just show that. What was it? That Monday I worked like six. Okay, not as bad, but still. Anyways, enough of this. What is it average actually? I want to see what the actual average is. This is a cool little tool. I actually recommend it to like anyone. Toggle, it's free. It doesn't cost me a thing. Up to like 4 people or something. But if I just look at like, let's see, what am I looking at? I'm looking for this week. Okay, so this week I worked 53 hours. So what really cuts into that average is, so yeah, I guess I was right when I said I only work like 11 hours average a day. Um, Okay, maybe I wasn't far off after all, right? And it's that 4 hours on Monday, which isn't unusual either, to be honest. That really drags down the average. But let's see, 12. See, this is the weird thing. When I convert to this reporting thing, the numbers shift. It's like it's on Saturdays or anything. See, that's odd. I don't know whether maybe it's pegged to like Pacific time or something when I convert to reporting, but it gets it right when I look here. These are the actual times of, these are the actual times that I'm working. But anyways, so that's that. That's keeping myself honest sort of thing. So I guess I was right. After 11 hours on average a day, Monday through Friday, basically. The other thing I mentioned last time was I think I said like I smoked like a pack and a half, and then I thought twice about it. I realized I actually smoke straight 2 packs. I buy 2 packs a day, and I said because I always have like extra left over the next day, or I probably spoke a pack and a half. But in reality, of course, I have some the next day because I buy it midday the previous day. I literally go through 2 packs a day, uh, legitimately. I thought twice about it after I said it. I was downplaying like how much I smoke for whatever reason. But the reality is, on the weekend, I really don't smoke much, if at all. Some weekends, I don't smoke like a single cigarette. And that's because I'm not doing anything. I just like vegetating and I don't know, not working and not like go, go, go and not needing that nicotine and also not taking the Vyvanse, which makes me want to smoke. It's like crack, man. Like, that's why crackheads smoke cigarettes. It makes you crave cigarettes. If you're a smoker, at least. And even if you aren't, I find that much like with alcohol, I remember when we used to do Adderall, right? People who didn't really smoke would smoke. Uh, so I don't know. There's something to be said about that. Not making it up either. There's no doubt that when I take my Vyvanse, which I do Monday through Friday, basically, almost without exception, um, I smoke more for sure. And then on the weekend, I don't. I try not to take it. And most like very rarely do I ever take it on a weekend day. To be honest, try to give my brain a break. And because I don't take it, it's hard for me to get started, jump started, do anything like get active, get out. After like a long week of working, especially, and then to turn around and not take the Vyvanse on the weekend, like I just vegetate. So when I talk a lot about how I don't do shit on the weekend, that's partially why. A, I'm kind of spent from the week. B, yeah, it's Corona times. C, I live in London, don't know anybody, so there's nobody hitting me up to get out. Um, and even the few people I know that would hit me out to get out if it were times other than kind of Corona times. So there's that kind of those in combination, the lockdown and the fact that I'm in a new land and don't know many people to begin with. What was that? A, B, C. And then D. I don't take my pill that gives me the energy to do just about anything Monday through Friday. I could for sure I could get by without it, but like it's not easy. Well, it's been a while since I've tried to do a Monday through Friday or any day of the weekday without it, right? Become like at least psychologically dependent upon it, right? Um, and then on the weekend, don't take it and kind of reinforces to me at least why I need it because it's hard for me to get motivated to do anything. But at the same time, there's nothing to do, right? So maybe I should experiment a little bit more with not taking it Monday through Friday, or at least a day a week, right? I just want to be on my A game, and it definitely does help. It definitely got me through college, helped me graduate. I thank God for Doctor. Are we name dropping? I don't know. Thank God for the doctor that prescribed me Vyvanse when many doctors wouldn't, given my condition, given that I got bipolar 1, right? I just thought I was gonna like let loose on this and like just talk freely. Like, I don't need to like hide, but I don't also want to like I don't know. But yeah, and the fact that I come off a manic episode not long before he was willing to prescribe me Vyvanse when many doctors wouldn't. But I needed it with all the lithium and other drugs at that time too. It wasn't just lithium. It was like Geodon. It was Seroquel. It was Abilify. I went through so many with that doctor. Went through so many, and he was a good doctor. Like I didn't think for 1 second that he was especially like smart, but I didn't think he had a bad heart, right? I didn't think he meant any ill will. Like and there was a trust factor there. It went both ways. Like he trusted me too. I mean, he obviously did. Otherwise, he wouldn't prescribe me vitamins? He didn't trust me on some level. I was just struggling so much that senior year, especially with like even, it wasn't necessarily unique to that senior year, to be honest, but with all those drugs, especially, they're very like the mood stabilizers, but maybe like very lethargic, right? Maybe gain a lot of weight as well that I've never haven't probably haven't shed since fully, right? Um, and Very lethargic. I'd be like in lectures and I'd be just fucking falling asleep. And there was one class, one class, one quarter. I went to that guy's class. I don't even remember what the class was. Some kind of like history class, I think. And I love history. And this professor was good. He was a good professor. Could tell that much. But I kid you not, twice a week for a full quarter. I think I went one of a few classes I went to like every time, just about. There were some classes I never went to. Story. But Was diligent about going in this one because the timing was good too. And I think maybe it was in between or after something or whatnot, right? Very diligent about going to this one. Every single fucking time, I would fall asleep in this class, man. Every time, without exception. And then I remember when in between, when I made the transition from when I left the last sales job I had before the first customer success job I started, I was taking classes at a community college to become like a teacher. I was like, I want to become a teacher. Let me just at least take the classes towards it, look into it, figure out all I got to do. And there was this one class, and I didn't fall asleep every time. It wasn't like that one class in lecture in college, but it's a little bit different. It wasn't like a lecture hall, it was like a class, big class, but class, round tables type thing. And I was nodding off in her class a couple of times. And eventually she just had it. She was, what is your problem? She pulled me aside. She was like, enough. What is your issue? Like, she was upset about it. And then she didn't backpedal, but then she kind of qualified with, something wrong, but really like, get your fucking shit together. Right? Don't come to my class to fall asleep in it, like time and time again. And that's been a problem of mine. Oh my God. Um, in so many places, right? I remember one job I was working, right? Constantly nodding off in meetings. It wasn't even just one job. It was like multiple, three jobs. There's three jobs where it was a running. First job was a little bit of a running joke. Second job, a little bit of a joke, but also got me in trouble. Someone once said that it's the reason I end up getting laid off, right? I didn't get fired. I got laid off. It was like layoffs, right? But I was a top performer at that company in terms of revenue. And at that time I was in sales. And, if that's the metric that matters, the bottom line, I was the number one on my team, right? And still got let go. Somebody, a good friend of mine that worked there with me, and then also another company afterwards we worked together again too. He said he thinks that was one of the biggest reasons they asked me is I was got caught sleeping by execs. Execs were giving like speeches, fireside chat type thing, and I'm just not like, naughty. I'm just naughty. Whew, embarrassing looking back. And I think at that time I wasn't taking Vyvanse. I know the first job where I was, at least it was more of a running joke, but a more casual kind of workplace. I wasn't taking the Vyvanse. And then the third job, I wasn't taking that because I took a break from taking Vyvanse for like a stint there in my life. Like, and the third job, it became so bad that one of my not, I don't know if she was exactly my manager. I think she was my manager's manager. I forget like how it was such a mess basically. But we would have this meeting with the CRO every Friday. I hope we fall asleep in some of those, right? She told me just stop coming. This is the meeting. This is the whole, we're a customer success team. At the end of the week, we all come around this huge ass table in like the biggest room. And it's a 4-story office building. We meet in the base of the biggest room every fucking Friday to review the state of the customers, right? And this is the whole week is leading up to this meeting with the CR, and she is sharp as shit. Like, I won't name drop, but like, she's like sharper than fucking Hillary Clinton. And would like make men uncomfortable, especially. I remember hearing men like talking like little girls, bro, about how they came, men, not men, executive men, right, talking about how where she sat herself, how she positioned herself, how they were just like, she made men's manhood shrink, man. It was crazy. She was just that competent, that sharp. I'd be falling asleep in those, this is my chance to like really impress. And it was so bad that my boss was just like, please just stop coming. And then I got back on the Vyvanse and got it together, I think, eventually. Did I get the Vyvanse back then? I think at the tail end of that job, I finally got back on the Vyvanse. But there I actually got fired. That wasn't, or they tried to fire me, and then it ended up turning into a layoff. They tried to fucking fire me. Should I just unpack these stories one by one? I feel like I derail myself with stories, but like that's a real story to tell right there. Given I don't come into this and having any like plan to talk about anything in particular, why not just go that way? But um, but yeah, I just derailed myself. Uh, thank God for this job though. This is the first job where I really like the company, like what we're trying to do. That's the key thing, like what we're trying to do too. I don't think I could work like this if I didn't like what we were trying to do or are doing. Um, and the customers too. I like the kind of customers we have. I like what we're trying to do. I like the kind of customers we have. A lot of e-commerce customers, which are pretty cool, pretty laid back. I've worked with e-commerce customers. I've worked with developers. Developers always knew more about the product, my own product, than I did. Basically, I was a very technical product too, so that was a odd, role to be in. I largely just played like air traffic controller in that role, whereas in this one, and by air traffic controller, I just mean, oh, you need to talk to this person, you need to talk to that person. Let me put you in touch with the appropriate people. But here I am that person. All the people that I was like redirecting customers to in the previous customer success role, I am all those people in one here, which is cool. Um, but a lot of context switching, right? Um, and the previous job prior to that was, was my last sales role, and I love that company deeply. Wasn't that inspired by what we were trying to do, the product, basically. Very dry. Prior to that, sexy product, sexy company. It's probably the top two at the time. I think it was the top two companies you could have been a part of in the Bay Area when I joined. I mean, that's how me and all my peers felt. I mean, that's a fact. There's no denying that. It was that, this one, or this other one, right? And I was in deep interviews with both. And once I got this one, I canceled the interview with the other because I wanted this one. So, and that one, I mean, made a big difference, I think, for the rest of my career. Honestly, getting in at that company, to be honest, was big. It was the break, basically, even though I ended up getting laid off. But we all did. We got acquired, and a lot of people did, not everyone. Um, but a lot more eventually got laid off. Anyways, everyone that was on the team, I think, eventually got laid off or left. Maybe there's a few smattering that are still there, but not even necessarily in like the same role that we were, right? But still, that was the break. Um, this led to a lot. Like, just for example, somebody from that company just emailed me. He emailed me like a week ago, actually. And I thought he was trying to sell me something, right? Not sell, it wasn't a hard sell. He was like, hey, long time ago. And he was a cool guy. I like the guy. He was a product guy, right? I think he went to Harvard and stuff, like smart, sharp guy, really sweet, really nice. Like one of those like perfect people, like good looking, went to Harvard, very like soft spoken, very intelligent, very thoughtful. There's some people that are just like that, like archetype. And that this guy's an example of that. And he emailed me, and I didn't read the full email. Like I read it, I don't know how I read some of it, not all of it, and I was like, okay, I'll get back to that. And I got back like 8 days later, and I realized that he was trying to intro me to some people that are trying to develop a customer success platform. And he thought that I'd be a good person for them to speak with and help them like identify product market fit and, just the whole, we'll see. We're yet to discuss or talk and see, what we end up talking about. Next time I do one of these, I'll have talked to them and I'll update on that front. But what was cool was like, somebody that wasn't a friend necessarily. I think we talked maybe less than like not more than a handful of times, that's for sure, in the whole time we worked at that company. And that company wasn't a small company, it was north of 400 people, not on the same teams, nothing like that, not even really even close. um weren't like drinking, like there's a lot of drinking at that company too, but weren't even like drinking conversationalists either, right? But came out of left field and to intro me to these people, these guys, these co-founders that are trying to start up something that's very relevant to me. I mean, customer success platform. I mean, customer success, and what they're trying to do too is like build out. He explained it very well too in the intro email, just very concisely, very clearly. And they're trying to build a platform to unify customer data, and enable customers to build workflows, automations, and alerts, around like customer success oriented stuff, right? Customer oriented stuff. And that's my day to day. I literally build out workflows and automations. That's what our company does, but for customer service, not customer success, more, customer service inquiries, AI to identify the intent of the questions people are asking, and then the workflows to determine how to automate, these responses. Um, and we integrate with other systems to pull information from all these other systems to determine how to respond, or what actions to take potentially in the other systems before responding. Easy example, somebody's like, I want to cancel my subscription, right? It's all these like subscription based businesses. We identify that they're asking to cancel their subscription. AI identifies it, and then we integrate with other systems to cancel the subscription. And then we integrate with like the customer service platforms like Zendesk or Salesforce, to automate the response saying, subscription's been canceled. But that was kind of the early days, very basic what we're doing. Now it's a little more, it's a lot more sophisticated sort of stuff around like order status and all the carriers we integrate with. So if somebody's asking where is my order, we can integrate with all the carriers to tell them where their order is, when they can expect it. Something that and other stuff too, like change address. I want to change. I placed an order. I need to change the address. We understand you're asking to change the address, and we integrate with their systems. Oftentimes, customers like custom systems to change the address before it gets shipped out. If it's already got shipped out, then maybe send it to an agent to like try and do something, or anyways. But that's the kind of alerting piece, right? So workflows, automations, and alerts. I don't know if he knows what Digital Genius name dropping. I said I wouldn't do. Damn. Okay, I'm still gonna stick to that, not doing name dropping. That includes companies and stuff. I can talk about whatever I want, but I'm not gonna name drop, because this could happen that like somebody hears this, here's about the company, and maybe I reflect badly on the company. That's not fair. Just like it's might reflect badly on other people if I tell a story about them and then drop their name, So I need to not do that, but it's practice makes perfect, and I got to learn how to edit so I can bleep in retrospect, sort of thing, or just delete these guys later. Because honestly, nobody listens to this. I look at these analytics, like, let's see how many people like listen to this. I think I have like an average of 3 is what I'm going to say. Maybe a little more than an average of 3, but the mode is 3, right? But it's nice to get 3, right? So I'm even surprised I get 3, to be honest. Like when I first started this, I sent it to the WhatsApp group of 3 people. So maybe those are the 3 listening to it. And then I was talking to my other friend about how I was doing this, and she asked me to share it. And I said, well, I'm about to do one in like after Get Off With You. I'll share that one. And then she texted me, like, we talk every week, like multiple times a week, oftentimes too, but at least once a week. She just said earlier this week, like, oh, I still haven't listened to it. I'm like, dude, don't even worry about it. I'm not asking you to, right? It's not about that. And it really isn't. When I used to do like blogging in high school. Shout out to Zanga. That's a name I'll drop. Shit. I had a big audience, man. I had so many e-props. And I was writing for an audience, right? And here I'm still speaking as if I'm speaking to people listening or viewers. It's still like very much like that. but I know there's not a real audience. So maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Some of the ways I wrote when I was in high school were different because I knew I had an audience. I knew people, like it's a little different, maybe. Yeah, of course it's different. Anything that is different makes things different, whether it makes it much different or not. Anyways, I can't multitask for shit, right? I'm trying to talk and then trying to see how many, I'm trying to find the right place to click. Okay, let me share my screen. Let's look. Let's see how many. Okay, so keeping myself honest, right? I said I think I have like a mode of 3 or whatever, right? Fuck it, mode doesn't make sense, but there's no mode except 6 would be the mode. I said average of whatever I said. So let's see, 4 for last week, 7, 7 from the week before. That's pretty good. 6, it must have been the fucking cardigan, dude, whatever it was. 6, was it shorter? No. What about it? Oh, and this other thing I noticed too is like I reliably talk for like just under 45 minutes. I don't time myself too. I feel just like naturally feel like there's something about the 45-minute mark for me. This week was different. I was just exhausted, so it was like 14 minutes. But okay, yeah, 6 views, 6 views, 3 views, 1 view for 1.1. How many listened to the first one? Let's see. The very first got 4. Okay, cool. But the very first, okay, cool. Enough of that, because that's not what it's about, right? But it's interesting, right? And I mentioned to another friend of mine, what was it? She took this like amazing Instagram like video. I was like, dude, if that was you, that was awesome, right? If that was like original material, basically. I forget what I said, how I said it, but like I said before, like I'm not trying to like get verbatim, but memory doesn't matter. It's all about like the spirit of it. And she's like, yeah, I took it. And then what did I say? I was just encouraging her to podcast more because she used to podcast. And, much like this podcast, I don't think it was, it was good. It was good to know when it's somebody is what it was, right? I don't think it's something anybody would listen to if they didn't know the person, sort of thing. And same as this, if you didn't know me, I don't think anybody would listen to this. But the fact she did it, and she would like interview people too. That's something I've yet to do and want to and will do, right? Because I even started the first one. I started with talking about interviewing and how I wish there were more better interviewers out there, and good interviews to watch. And gave a shout out to Rogan, obviously, is one of the better interviewers of our generation, and but really Sean Evans, the guy from Hot Ones. That guy, I think, is the best interviewer I know. I'm sure there's better out there, but I need to find them. So, send me those recs if there's somebody I should be listening to. That's something I definitely want to do, is start interviewing people too. It's something that we used to have the superlative in high school called like most likely be a talk show host. And I think they had the superlative my freshman year, my sophomore year, my junior year, right? That's the one I wanted, right? I wanted to have that one our senior year. And our senior year, it wasn't even an option. So I couldn't even get it, right? Which was weird, right? Why? And I'm pretty positive it was 3 years running. The 4th year, it just disappeared. What was that about? Well, I still got a superlative, but it's the embarrassing one. But it's an honor also. That's embarrassing at the same time. But that's the one I wanted, talk show host, and just disappeared the year of, you only get senior, you only get superlative as a senior. This is another one of those wool shirts I was talking about last time. I'm into it, man. I'm all about it, dude. These are good. I spent how much on them? I don't know. I know I spent too much. Let me look. Let me confirm. Before I say how good it is, right? Let me see, let me remind myself how much I actually paid. I bought 2, right? Because there was some type of incentive to buy 2, so I did. But I forget why. I forget how much it costs. Let's look. Oof. 109 pounds, motherfucker. 109 pounds. Oh, what is that in USD, dude? $150 on 2 shirts, 2 fucking t-shirts. Thank God I like it, right? Better last. Reliability, man. There's quality and then there's reliability and like longevity, right? Like this may feel great now, be awesome, but will it wash? Will it keep? That's a real question. That's what I'm big about, reliability. I'm a Japanese car man kind of thing, right? Speaking of Japanese and speaking of reliability, remember this pencil I was talking about that I love so much, right? Something's wrong with it. I don't know that I'm not going to say it's broken, but it's not working. And I can't really get it to work. I don't understand why it's not working. And it's frustrating because I loved it so much. I love it so much. I still love it. And if I get it working, I'll probably love it more because I put in the elbow grease, sure, right? But it let me down. I was trying to take notes and it's thank God I got all these other pencils, right? Thank God that I was talking about. Thank God I had that little pencil obsession, right? So now I'm using this one that anyone who knows about mechanical pencils knows about this guy. And this one's reliable. None of that tip, because this one has like a fancy tip because it's the 0.3 millimeters. So it needs kind of like a fancy tip so I don't break the lead. Because I got this other 0.3, and this is classic, the Sharp, right? This is another 0.3 millimeter lead, but because it doesn't have this like fancy tip that kind of pushes back when you press down, I constantly break the lead. It just doesn't work for me. And I like the 0.3 millimeter because I write small, but I also write hard. So having like fine lead works for my small writing. Um, but because I also press hard, I needed something like this, right? Which is like it kind of it adjusts, right? When I press, and the lead wasn't breaking, it was working, it was great, right? But now it's not, and I got to figure out why. And then this is just simple German engineering, right? There's nothing to it, doesn't like push back. But this also means I can't like really put it in my pocket, or like even if I were to put it in like a t-shirt pocket, it would probably poke a hole in it too. So that's why I kind of like this guy, because there is something to it where if you press it just right, it still retracts the tip, right? And I can put this in a pocket, no problem. But it's just ironic after I was like saying how much I love this pencil, I want to have it keep it forever, right? And it goes and stops working on me. Just got to put in the elbow grease on it. Am I still sharing my screen? Oh, I wasn't. Oh, was I? No. How do I cancel? Whoop, stop share. Okay. Um, what else? What else? So what was unique about this week, really? Singles Day. So I didn't realize this was something that Western companies kind of did, dude. And I don't know that it is something that Western companies did do until recently, but they do. And and because of like the space I'm in, right? Like, there's like this one customer I'm working with said that their Singles Day this year, which is November 11th, was bigger than Black Friday for them last year. I didn't ask if they did Singles Day last year, but the fact that it's already bigger than Black Friday was for them last year is crazy. And it was also a big thing for this other customer, but not all my customers did the Singles Day, but there was another customer that did too. And that's insane to think about. And I think it's largely probably a bit to do with Corona. Maybe they are doing this Singles Day sale, whereas maybe they weren't before, because with Corona times, like there's so much anticipation around like delay in orders and like just what a mess maybe the holiday season will be. I think a lot of the Western companies maybe jumped on the opportunity to do a sale earlier than Black Friday. And they're saying there's a sentiment, I guess, out there that people are doing their shopping earlier this year for whatever reason, for that reason, I guess. Delays in shipment that are likely, which is big for us. It's a big use case for us. Where is my order, right? Let me tell people where their order is. And we get these customer service, orgs get so many "where's my order" questions when there's delays in shipping. So really, Corona like benefited us big time. Their companies, there's always going to be winners and losers, and we were such a loser for so long, right? It's unfunny. And we really didn't even deserve a break, to be honest, man. We didn't get a break, but we also didn't deserve one. And we were our own worst enemy, constantly shooting ourselves in the foot. It felt like fucking quicksand for so long. But just as we were getting our act together, I mean, we went from 70 employees down to 8. When I came out here, we were just 8 or 9. Um, and we were on the verge. We had like no money in the bank. Started doing this pilot programs just because like a Hail Mary. We need just customers who give it for free, and hopefully we can get them to close within the quarter and just get some goddamn money, man. And the pilot programs have been working. We've done 10 pilots. I converted 9 out of 10 because those pilots go to me. Um, and we have 2 more. So by the end of the year, we could go 11 for 12. We'll see. And that one that didn't convert, like they may still come back. We'll see. They're trying to see if they can do it themselves, sort of thing, around order status, right? Specifically, which is a big part of their volume. And other part of their volume, they're like a flower delivery company. So a lot of it's like, the flowers are damaged, and then they ask to send a picture, and hey, I can't read a picture anyways, and it's all order status or like damaged flowers, basically, right? So if they think if they can do the order status, then they should do that. And then the damaged flowers, like they were very particular about like seeing a picture before sending a replacement, and we can't read the picture to determine whether it's worth sending a replacement, sort of thing. But there's still opportunity there despite them, and they said that themselves. So we'll see. Who knows? Could ultimately go 100%, but thus far this year, 9 for 10. 2 more up for grabs, and we'll see if another one comes through before the end of the quarter, which is unlikely at this point with the holiday season, given our customer type. For another customer to sign up on for a pilot right before the big holiday season, doubtful. But in less than a year, because we didn't start the pilot program until like maybe February. I think we started pitching it in January though, but the first one that come through was in like February. Yeah, whatever, 12 in a year. And we only got one sales guy. So not bad. Our sales yield's better than ever. It used to be horrible, man. Dude, we had $15 million in the Series A, and we blew it in 14 months. And how much revenue did we close with that growth investment? Where they put it all into fucking a huge ass commercial team. 500 fucking K, dude. 15 million for 500K. 15 million burnt in 14 months to secure 500K in revenue. And a lot of the revenue we fucking secured just attrited, man, because they were bad deals too. It wasn't even like it was good deals, good customers, and product wasn't ready for it, which was my objection to it to begin with. When they first got that money, they said it's all going to go to commercial. I remember looking at one of my colleagues and she looking at me and both of us being like, what? And she was in sales. She wasn't even product. We both knew that money needed to go into product, not fucking commercial, man. But they had delusions of grandeur, sort of thing. And to some degree, I can't blame them the worst because they got to 1 million awfully fast. Just being AI. People will throw money at AI, enough. It's greenfield. A, it's greenfield. B, it's sexy. C, it was very like timely at the time. That was a hot topic. And you can find people really quick to just take a chance on the AI just because they have an AI initiative internally or something, right? They want to have AI. So they got to 1 million awfully quick, but goddamn. And they got all that money. And a Series A is supposed to last you at least 2 years. I mean, that's just bad planning all around. That's not supposed to happen. But they forecasted all wrong based off of that first million. And maybe that's something that kind of have like learning from. I mean, I thought I even knew at the time what we were doing didn't make sense, and now I can it's backed by evidence of experience as well, not just how I fucking felt. And maybe these are the kind of conversations that speaking to somebody like this, these co-founders next week, I can impart, right? We'll see. Let's see what kind of questions they ask, right? What I will say though is having the title is great, man. You should see, like, before I had this title, I had like principal title. I was like, give me the principal title, right? I had no one to manage, but give me like the highest individual title. And they gave it to me, no problem, no objection, right? Um, and But you should see the difference in the kind of messages I get on LinkedIn the moment my title changed to VP. You know, when I was a principal, I was getting all these bullshit fucking offers, bullshit recruiters, and bullshit offers offering me shit that I was way overqualified for, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, get the fuck out of my inbox. Get the fuck out of my face, dude. I was insulted, man. Time after time after time, insulted by people offering me an opportunity at a job. Honestly, it's petty. I understand, but still, like, I was like, who the fuck do you think I am? You obviously don't. Like, then I get the VP title. Now I'm getting intro to people that are starting up companies and want to like speak with me and hear from my insight, right? I mean, I love it, right? It's great, right? I wish, I needed the title to be put in the just to have those kind of conversations. I don't know, like we'll see. Yet to have that conversation, but I love the fact that I'm about to have that conversation, right? Um, And Yeah, thank God for the title, man. I know a lot of people say not to make a lot about a title, but there's a big difference to it. And what will be interesting though is to see if I can retain the VP title after this job, because it is granted a startup, and maybe the next, I'm sure I could find a VP role, no problem, at another startup. But I don't want to do like the player coach, build from the ground up again with the next role, and I want the next role to be ideally VP or better again, right? I'd maybe settle for like director at like a big company, but ideally it's like series B or better, and I'm a VP and I have to come in and manage a team as opposed to be the team, build the team, be and build and manage, from ground up. I've done that. I've done the player coach thing. I've done the lead thing. I've done the builder from the ground up thing. I just want to come in and just like straight manage a team from day one and have budget, you know. Um, that's what I want the next one to be. If this doesn't, materialize into that, it's still possible here. It doesn't have to be eyes to the next, but you know. With that said, I talk shop, talk work a lot. Let me think of something just, I don't know, juicy maybe to talk about. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Dude, I think I take like one shower a week, man. Maybe two. Speaking of juicy, dude. Oh. Oh, and then my other buddy's, interested in getting customer success, and we're set up a time to talk tomorrow. That's cool too. I mean, that would have happened regardless of title. It's neither here nor there, but building a career, there's something to be said about that. And expertise really is what I mean by building a career, is like having expertise and thinking about being an expert and what you can do to, increase your expertise, and just thinking about what you're doing, thinking about what's happening, thinking about how it all happened, thinking about how it's all working, what's not working, why it's not working, what you need to do to make it work, what you think will make it work, what you thought would make it work and didn't, right? All these things, right? Expertise, right? Experience, treating it like research almost. It's applying the scientific method, right, to like your life. I'm not forgetting about the people factor, right? Ah, I think that's probably 45 minutes. I'm pretty much done. I don't know. Wish this one could have been more juicy. I had some thoughts earlier. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna let loose on this one tonight. Like I'm gonna go deep, dirty, and dark, right? But I totally even forgot what I was thinking about earlier that was like deep, dirty, and dark that I was gonna like just let loose on tonight. But hmm, yeah, until next time, much love, be happy, do good, love out.